Welcome to this iOS 12 developer beta preview, beta 1 review. Now, I am on iOS 11.4 right now. Quickly, I just want to show you how much storage is on here so you know what you're kind of going to expect when you update. 237.26 gigs remaining, 11.4. Going over into the software update, to download this, you do have to be a developer, you have to be a part of the program, and you do have to download the developer profile. It comes in at 2.61 gigabytes, but they don't list the features here, and that's what I'm here to help you learn about here in this video if you did miss the keynote. So let's go ahead and download and install this, and when it is done, I will be back. Now, one thing to keep in mind is when you are installing these betas, the initial ones are usually larger storage capacity, so do find some good Wi-Fi if you don't have good Wi-Fi in your house and download it there, or just be patient with it because it's going to take some time. As you can see, 8 minutes remaining here. Typically a smaller dot release would be less storage, so we'll see you in a second. All right guys, so you can see we are now in iOS 12. You can see it says swipe up to finish setting up iOS 12. Update is completed. Let's hit continue and give it a second. Now be aware that this is the first beta, so if things are laggy in this video, buggy, don't take it as it's the main performance you're going to get, because it's probably not. So right away, let's go ahead and check out that version number by heading into settings, and let's go into general. Let's go to about, and you can see that it's iOS 12 16A 5288Q, signifying the first beta. It actually looks like I lost a little bit of space here on this update, and I want to go check out those wallpapers to see if there's any wallpapers. I always, for some reason, love new wallpapers, and let's see if there's any new ones in here. And there's one new wallpaper right here in iOS 12, so I'm going to go ahead and set that to keep it along with the theme of this video. Now in iOS 12, Apple really went for updating their core applications and really improving upon performance. Now there's been a lot of problems with performance, and I've covered it. I told you don't buy the iPhone 6 earlier this year, don't buy the iPhone 5S, and I stood by that due to mostly iOS 11, but that opinion might change as we do test those in the speed department and see if this performance is truly much faster. Looking good so far, however. Okay, so the first thing that Apple brought here in the iOS 12 is improvements to augmented reality. There wasn't much fanfare or audience applause for this section. Doesn't seem like many people are using AR too much just yet. It's a relatively fresh technology, but this new measurements app is going to allow your phone to measure objects just by pointing it at it. So we're going to go ahead and do a little movement here. Let's hit this, and you can see it could kind of measure what's there on the table, that iPhone. Now it's not going to be totally accurate here on video, but this is a new thing where you could just measure objects in the real world with your iPhone. Basically, you might never need a ruler anymore in iOS 12. So that's a cool new feature. Also a new feature in photos. So if you go to your photo settings, you're now going to be able to, you're going to have a more expansive search selection. So you're going to be able to search things more than just, dog flowers, just little things like that. You're going to be able to search based on, your location, based on your events, wherever you were. And you're also going to be able to have shared suggestions where it's going to allow you to see photos based on the event that you were at. Now I don't have any photos at those events to showcase that to you right now, but this is end-to-end encrypted. So if you're a little bit worried about privacy, like I don't want Apple knowing where I was in my events and sharing photos based on every little detail of my life, it is end-to-end encrypted, so nobody can see it, only you can see it on your iPhone. So new improvements to the photos section in iOS 12. So heading back into settings, we have a new feature you're going to notice right here that says screen time. So when we go into screen time, it's going to tell you your downtime, your app limits. Now app limits are something you can create in iOS 12, which is going to allow you to limit the amount of usage you have on a particular app that you think is disturbing you or distracting you too much. Now I love this feature because I think sometimes our smartphones tend to own us and we don't own them. So this is a great new feature here in iOS 12. You have downtime here where you can schedule downtime on your iPhone. You also have apps you can always allow here at all times. You can see that little bit of a hang. iOS 12 is a little bit buggy. And you have content and privacy restrictions. It's going to be popular amongst parents who want to restrict certain apps at certain times for kids. Now this works across iPad as well, and you can see you can use the screen time passcode and a couple other features down there. So it's basically like an analytics breakdown of your iPhone usage. Now this is really a pretty cool feature that you pretty much haven't seen on a lot of other devices. Now, notifications also will receive group notifications now. So when you do get, new notifications on iOS 12, they will appear in groups now, and you're not going to have no more single application notifications where they're all just cluttering your lock screen. So group notifications do come to iOS 12. The next feature is going to be Siri shortcuts. So when you go into settings, you have your Siri and search. There's going to be new shortcuts you can add that allows you to basically tell Siri what to do before it's even done it, and then Siri will be more personal. It'll know more things that you want it to do, unlike before where you would ask it things and it really didn't know anything you were saying a lot of the times. That's going to change here in iOS 12 with Siri shortcuts. Of course, you do get your typical ability to change the accents. You get your ability to change the information, female, male, things like that, and all the other features from prior are now here as well. So no changes there, but you do get that nice shortcut ability. So Apple News and Apple Stocks, two more core applications, do see some updates in iOS 12. Apple News is going to now be in Stocks, and it's a little bit cleaner designed here for 12 for searching for your favorites and stuff like that. So they did really talk about this a lot. So if you're into new Apple News, I'm not personally in it too much, but you can go ahead and have a more cleaner design. You could search for topics, articles, stories. It's just cleaner now in iOS 12. So refinements there, and Stocks is going to get news inside of Stocks now. So Stocks is updated as well. You can see right there, market news. So people who are in the stock market, they like to use a Stocks app all the time. You're really going to love this update here to your iPhone on iOS 12. Another core application that was updated is the voice memos. So the voice memos now looks a little bit different, and you are going to be able to sync these voice memos across iPad for the first time. You are going to get voice memos on the iPad, so that's cool as well. And iBooks changes to Apple Books. You can see welcome to Apple Books, a stunning new experience for book lovers. Now, they did say this is the best book reader on the planet. I don't agree. I think that's Kindle, but I'm going to use this a little bit because I love to read on my phone. You can see it's a little bit laggy right now, and I think it just crashed. So you can see this is what comes with the territory when you are using a fresh beta. So I don't recommend installing this right away, but I am just showing you some of the differences in iOS 12 versus 11. So iPhone 10 users, welcome to the new Animoji. There's going to be Memoji as well. That's going to allow you to go ahead and make a personalized emoji. This is very similar to what we've seen on Samsung Galaxy S9, but some are going to argue that it's even more personalized. It looks a little better. I would say it definitely does look a little bit better so far. Hitting continue, you can see you can personalize your own, and there's a few new ones in here as well, such as the koala. You got the T-Rex now, you have Ghost, and you have the tiger right there. So more Animojis and Memoji, which is going to allow you to personalize to your own liking. And I'll do this later for some more updates, but you can see it's going to be pretty nice. And I think over this iOS 12 beta process, we are going to see even more enhancements to this feature. So we all knew that Apple was going to improve Animoji when the iPhone 10 first came out, but this is really nice. I mean, look at all these different face shapes in here. You can see different skin colors, head styles. This is a lot more in depth, it seems like, than Samsung's feature on the Galaxy S9. So rather, they took it from them and made it their own. Whatever, there's more features here, and I really do like it here. What do you guys think about this new Memoji? And finally, you can do a group FaceTime in iOS 12. Now, Google Hangouts can do 25 people. This can do 32 people in iOS 12. So I can see this being very useful amongst, if you have multiple people that you want to group chat with, but you want to do it FaceTime style, this is going to be a really nice feature here. So keep that in mind. Multi-user support for FaceTime. And one thing I want to mention that was kind of mentioned in a different section in the macOS section when Craig was on stage is that there's more security improvements to Safari in iOS 12, even here on the iPhone, where, trackers are finding more and more ways to go ahead and track everything you're doing on your device. And now with iOS 12, it's going to be even harder for them to track you. So security improves once again on iOS 12, and it's a strong reason why a lot of people use Apple devices is because they are very secure. So that's pretty much it. iOS 12, you've seen a lot of core applications in this video have been updated from Apple. I can tell you right now, even on the iPhone 10, the performance is very choppy right now. So should you update it for a daily driver? Absolutely not. Should you try it out if you got a side iPhone? I would recommend, yeah, go take a look at it if you got a side iPhone. How do you install this? Well, you have to sign up for a developer program on Apple, and you do have to go ahead and install that profile, and then you can install it right on your device. Core applications updated here. Huge improvements to performance coming by the official version. It's going to get much better here on iOS 12. And really what we want to see is updates on these older phones that, you know, should see performance improvements, like the iPhone SE, the iPhone 5S, iPhone 6, 6 Plus, those older devices. And yeah, no SE2 today. That was kind of disappointing. But you do have a new mode here in Do Not Disturb, I forgot to mention as well, where you can set your own time, like your own specific time for Do Not Disturb, which makes you a little bit less distracted on your phone as well. So this is a refined iOS 11 with performance improvements. I think it's going to be a beautiful software by the time it is finished. What are your thoughts? Comment them down below. If you found this video helpful, enjoyable, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. And you want to be subscribed so you don't miss a bunch of these upcoming speed test videos I'm going to do with the older iPhones to see if iOS 12 has improved. And now I might wait a little bit until a couple betas have been out, because I don't think this first one is even worth it for the older devices. But yes, this is looking like it's going to be a nice refined software by the time we get to the 10 Plus later this year.